Hello everybody, this is the Semi-noob playing StarCraft 2. My name is Oddish, otherwise known as Loopy Nocturne. And tonight I will be playing, well, against Vivid. Clan Vivid's TheRealDeal. That's right, this is the best that they've got. Throwing at me, a lowly Zerg player, who for whatever reason is using the stripes of a Zerg. I believe that's the icon of a Zerg. If I am not mistaken. He is, at the moment of this recording, of this replay, he is Silver League and he was at level 24, and he is in the bottom left corner. And he's going for the pretty much standard. While, you know, put a supply depot there, put a supply depot there, put a barracks there, block off, all good. And me, at the right hand corner, top right, I am Oddish, I am blue. I am Zerg, and I, at this point, was level 26. I know levels are kind of more arbitrary in terms of, you know, back then, at this point. Yeah, they don't really show skill level, just shows how much you played, so I played a heck of a lot more at this point in time now. But yeah, so I'm at the top corner. I'm playing my standard, pretty much rush build, honestly. He's going for double racks pretty much out of his own base. At the moment, I'm a little bit ahead in supply, but I think that's just because, yeah, it's not even. It's the fact that I'm just hatching more. I've got a queen on the way and my first Zergling, so in terms of supplies it's equal, but I'm the first to get my units out. In terms of production, he is going for one marine, an orbital command, a supply depot, and an additional barracks all at once. So he's playing, I would say, an economic based game where he's just trying to, instead of pushing the army right out the get-go, he's getting all this other stuff. Here's a little problem. Usually you would want to scout with that first marine, and he didn't. Now me, I've got metabolic boost going on. I just threw down a Baneling nest. I got 2 Zerglings down. I got a drone to replace that Baneling nest. I am harvesting from from 1 gas on 3. I have 1 queen, constantly injecting larvae, pretty much building up a Zerg swarm. Right now I have 8 to his 4 we're about even now, but the whole point of this game isn't to, the whole point of this is not to really beat them fair and square, as you'll see. Yeah, this is a 13 hatch rush at its finest, but I attack at the 6-minute mark, and I leave myself the option to use Banelings in this build, at least, because of the fact that I, at that point, have been running into a lot of problems with just this block, not being able to get through it, hitting their marines, just swarming, picking me off, and not being able to do anything. This guy's going for 4 racks, so that's a thing now. That is a legitimate thing. Yeah. So in terms of worker supply, he's got me beat, 25 to 15. But in terms of army supply, I'm a little bit ahead. Well, that's mainly because of the fact that I got so much Zerglings. Like, look at those Zerglings. I have 32 Zerglings. Oh, and I just sent them off. So the whole point of this at this point, yes, is to go in and crush his army. No, not even crush his army. I don't even want to touch his army. That's the thing. I want to get in there, swoop around, hit the mineral line, intimidate him enough to make him feel like he's not doing anything. He's not going to be able to recover. At this point, I'm throwing up 14 Banelings, which, you know what, in retrospect, I could have not done this in terms of using the amount, but at the end of it, I'll have 26 Zerglings and 13 Banelings for a... We're about even. He's got a little bit more than me, but in terms of me being able to wipe out his army, easy peasy. I still have 7 Banelings left and 8 Zerglings, which will be able to pretty much, well, he left the front door open, but theoretically, I would have been able to, and he leaves the door. Yeah, so yeah. At this point, this is my big mistake. I should have split off and I'm pretty much just trying to catch these. Catch these, get in the middle, and destroy a whole bunch of them. And I fail at that. See, there's a whole big runaround. While he's production. While he's micromanaging this, and yeah, I only get to kill off that section. He still has 21 workers compared to my 16. But at that point, he just microed and spent a whole bunch of time not doing anything, while I was still able to produce 18 Zerglings, which costed me 9 larvae. So I'm going for round 2, I guess. He's building. He's pretty much. He doesn't even have reactors on this. He's not mining any gas. If he was smart, he'd go 1 or 2 gas, put reactors on all these, build a ton of supply depots. And go for a second base, and he could literally overwhelm me right now with Marines at a faster rate than he's doing, because he's going 5 barracks with no reactors, no attachments needed, no gas at all, just focusing 21 workers and mules, focusing on getting resources, while both of us are still on 1 base, but in terms of what he's got a significant lead on me in terms of the amount of resources, but he's focusing on one thing. Now, mind you, at this moment as I'm talking, I'm still only focusing on the one thing. So I'll just follow my camera, I guess. So he's moving out his army right here, I guess as a rallying point. He doesn't see this coming, but in terms of it's a shit show for me, honestly. I lose the majority of my Zerglings, and then as soon as I realize that I'm going to lose them all, I tail it into the base, and I'm not able to get anything accomplished while he's still running around with 27 Marines, give or take. He also threw a Marine in the base, which caused me... I ended up killing it, but it's like... Units killed, Control R. I've killed only 7 workers out of 2 shots, out of 2 tries. He has killed 71 Zerglings to my 41 of his Marines. And I've only economically gotten 7 workers out of it. Which is, you know what? Husky would tear me apart right now. This is not economical. So at this point, what am I doing? I'm just going to blow him up. It's like, you know what? Screw that. I am going for another base. I am upgrading. I am going double gas. And I am producing, well, more Zerglings to turn into Banelings. So at this point, it's like, you know what? What I'm using right now is not working for me. So instead, I'm going to try Ultralisk Zergling Baneling, which is why I'm producing Zerglings and turning them right into Banelings while I have this base up. So yeah, my whole strategy at this point is, you know what, straight Zergling is not working. I'm not going to be able to take his base down with that big of an army. I need a way to just obliterate him. So at this point, he's also going for a second base. He still has more workers than me. But in terms of army supply, he's still leading. He's still leading in all of this. And the funny thing is that right now, he could relatively go in, hit my natural, and then hit my, like, I might be able to survive, but not likely with all these. Maybe. At the moment that I've got right now, I might be able to survive this horde. But he's at 62. He is running on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's actually purely ridiculous how many straight barracks he's running. And he's not... He could afford... Okay, see, that's why he's moving. He's completely mined out this base. like there's 90 there, there's 295 there, 390, 450, 530. It's just not worth it to keep all your workers there. So instead he's moved that there, so all of his workers are there except -4. But he still hasn't spent any money on gas, and he right now could produce so much more. But instead, well, honestly, he'd have this quicker if he upped his income and put a bit of gas and turned all these into reactors. He'd be good. But there's one flaw to the entire thing: 0-0. So at this point, I'm just getting my army together. I'm going from layer to hive tech. I've got an evolution chamber, which I have not used or touched at this point, which is really stupid. I haven't gone for centrifuge hooks, so no speed. I've got Zergling speed, and infestation pit was simply for me to get to hive tech. I've got 8 workers at this point, and right now the only thing I'm producing is drones. So I'm establishing this base while mining this base. So I've got more. I theoretically he has a little bit more than me. He's winning this entire thing. But he's also using mules, which do a little bit better. Okay, so at this point right now, he's doing an engagement. He's sending off his giant-ass army of 100, well, relatively 103. There's a couple of strays here that he's constantly producing. He's producing 7 at a time. So let's just watch that. So he's got all these together. I will put up that 110, 28 Banelings, 23 Zerglings. Now, 19 Marines remain, 3 Banelings, 6 Zerglings. In terms of the amount of engagements that have gone on, I've won. I would say the first one I lost, and the second one I definitely lost. No, first one I won. I feel like the first one that I won, but I was unable to do enough damage. The second engagement, where he completely obliterated me with this giant force of Marines, which are still 0-0, and he could actually friggin' afford to get some gas. He could go double gas right here, put up an engineering bay, focus on upgrades, and make those last. He could get combat shields, he could throw down a tech lab, and reactors. As bad as this strategy is, it could be better. So at this point, what am I doing? My response is simple. Ultralisks. I'm going for +1 attack. I'm going for Ultralisks. I'm going for Zerglings. I'm going for a Zergling Ultralisk Baneling combo. Still haven't gotten Chitinous Plating, but the one thing I'm keeping up with, you know what? I don't have a queen here. I should have a queen. He's guarding my expansions. That will it'll deny me the ability to do anything in terms of expanding, because this is getting low. So yeah, but that's not a fact that really comes into play at this point. So yeah, I'm pretty much at this point. This whole next 3 minutes is production for us. It is. He's getting to 56. At this point, he's got army supply, but I'm catching up really quickly, as you can tell. Because I'm producing Ultralisks and a ton of Zerglings, while he's producing seven Marines a time, which in multiples of 7 adds up really quickly. He's also producing. Holy crap! He is producing an additional. Okay, how many does he got here? I am up against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 barracks. No joke. He literally. And how much is queued up? A ton. Like he is just excessive in terms of the amount of Marines that he's building. He's producing 10 at a time, which is ridiculous, but he could produce 20 right now. And he's more barracks. He hasn't taken gas. His natural is completely mined out. He's just getting a mule to... Yeah, it's completely mined out at this point. He's going for a third base. I threw out some Zerglings to try to scout to see if there was any incoming army. So, this is our current forces. He's got more army supply than me, but I've got a ton. I have 35 Banelings, which means that his army supply in an encounter versus Marines is going to drop like a rock. No lie. So, that's a thing. He's hit 100. He's still producing 10 Marines. I'm at level 2 Zerg attack, still producing 14 Banelings back home. In terms of my worker count, he's got 45, I got 37. He's engaging right now. So, army supply, that's what we're at. 121 to 78. As great as this guy's plan is, he doesn't have stamina, he doesn't have combat shields, he doesn't have any attack. So, yeah, this is what happens. I see it out the corner of my eye, I engage, my Banelings sacrifice themselves, but I completely finish this off. And with my remaining force of 30 Banelings and 5 Ultralisks and 3 Zerglings, the Ultralisks of which have +1/+1, I'm producing now Shinnis Plating and Zerg Melee Attack 2. And you know, one dies, but at the end of the day, I don't even have to really detonate much of my Banelings on that army. So it's just using them to kill it, and this is really just the end of it. And you know what? He could have done so good. I should have lost this. He could have thrown reactors and tech labs on these. He could have gone starport and torn me to shreds in terms of the amount of production that he has. Instead, it came down to this. Because I'm still producing, and I'm only producing on 2 bases. So, and he actually set his workers to, well, his production on me. Units. I haven't even touched his workers, but his main base is gone. So, that, and I've got a nice little Zergling nest right here that I will send to finish up the wrap of the job so that the thing that happened the first time doesn't happen. So, yeah, this has been Episode 1, Attack of the Marines. And as you see, ultimately, the Marines lost. Just like, you know, a certain Dark Lord with his Stormtroopers lost. So, my name's Oddish, Loopy Nocturne. Thank you for watching this replay of Semi-noob plays StarCraft 2. Have a wonderful day. And this is the GG. Thanks for watching.